Welcome back to Ginger Kid Outdoors. Today we are going to be going over the Springfield Armory XD Mod 2 family of weapons. This is not it. This is a Springfield Armory Echelon. This is the original, I believe it's a 4.0 model. I have since upgraded it with a 5¼ inch threaded barrel, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on that. A TLR1 light on it, EPS, MRS, multi-reticle system, hollow sun sight, and it's got a small grip module on it. The other alteration I made is, I don't know if you can see it, but it also is equipped with a Apex stainless steel nitride coated guide rod and a little bit heavier pounded spring. But as I mentioned, we're not going to be going over that today. Today we're going to be going over the entire family of Springfield Armory Mod 2 handguns. Now I have both 9mm and 45 in the 5-inch tactical, 4-inch service, and the subcompact model. The 9mm has a 3-inch barrel in subcompact, and the 45 has a 3.3. Coming up next, I'm going to shoot each one of those with a full magazine so you can get a look as to what the recoil looks like when standing up. Later, we'll get back to the bench. I'll go over an overview of them and do some slow motion and just some bench shooting so you can see what the actual recoil climb is going to be. Coming up next, we're going to be doing some freestanding shooting, 25 yards at steel. First up in my XD Mod 2 line is going to be my 3-inch subcompact. Now this is equipped with a, if I can get it out, ambidextrous magazine release. And my magazine is originally a 13-round flush fit magazine. I have a Pierce Grips 2-round extender on it for 15 total rounds in this magazine. And you have to almost have the slide lock back to get it to seat. Now from there, I mean, it's pretty well just standard controls. I have done nothing else to these handguns, any of the Mod 2s, just from putting a grip extension on this one and the 45 in the subcompact. And the last round did not hold the slide in the lockback position. A lot of these magazines are getting a little bit of age onto them since this is a discontinued product line from Springfield Armory. But that is the subcompact 3-inch 9mm XD Mod 2. Next up is going to be the 4-inch model in the XD Mod 2. This is going to then go to a full-size grip. It's going to have a 16-round magazine. Again, you've got an ambidextrous magazine release that pushes from both sides. 16 rounds, 25 yards. I'll pull a lot of these. And did not hold the last round. Last round, I should say, did not hold the slide back. So even with the 124 grain NATO round, it is not having enough energy in order to actually hold the slide back on that last round. Again, this model is the 4-inch XD Mod 2 service model. Last in the 9mm family I have in my Mod 2 is the 5-inch tactical model. Now this one has a 5-inch barrel, as I mentioned. It's got tactical engraved on the side of it. I mean, other than it being a 5-inch barrel with a full dust cover, I don't know what else would be tactical about it. It does have a 16-round magazine. Again, all XD Mod 2s have an ambidextrous mag release with a takedown lever, of course, and your slide release. 16 rounds. that one did hold the slide back on the last round, which I don't know if this is a little bit newer magazine or if it's just because of the 5-inch barrel, it's got a little bit more velocity and pressure buildup to lock the slide back, but did lock the slide back on the last round. It's getting a little bit colder out and starting to rain, so hopefully I can finish up with the 45s that are up next. First up with my 45 is going to be the subcompact in the XD Mod 2. This one features a 9-round 45 caliber magazine. Again, you almost got to lock the slide back in order to load these compact magazines. Again, it's going to have an ambidextrous magazine release. That's a common feature on all the Mod 2s. Go ahead and shoot it. Did hold the slide back on the last round. Again, 9 rounds. I think I only hit the target at 25 yards here twice. I have not shot these XD Mod 2s in a while. In fact, mostly what I shoot with the Mod 2s is going to be the 4-inch and the 5-inch in both the 9 and 45. Up next is going to be the service model, or the 4-inch, in the 45 in my XD Mod 2. Now this again, get the magazine out, is a 13-round magazine, which is not a bad capacity for a smaller grip frame gun. We'll go over that a little bit later in the video. But again, 13 rounds of 45 ACP. I am going to be finishing up the last of my 230 grain blazer ammo in a full metal jacket. All 9mm was a 124 grain NATO by Winchester. And it did not hold back. Magazine is empty, firearm is clear, as you see. I don't know if it's just because of the age of the 45, my blazer ammo, or maybe the magazines are getting a little bit weak because some of them I did have loaded up for a while, but that was 13 rounds out of the 4-inch subcompact. 13 rounds out of the 45 ACP service model in the XD Mod 2. Last in my Mod 2 family by Springfield, it's going to be the 45 ACP and the tactical model. This one I do have outfitted with a TLR1 HL light. Now that is outfitted with that because the holster I usually carry is a Omnivore by Blackhawk. So anything that's equipped with a TLR1 locks into it. Go ahead and put that one back in there. So anything I run a TLR1 on, I can basically just use that flashlight and holster setup, and I can basically just run that holster. So this is a tactical model. Again, this has a full-size frame, 13 rounds, 45 ACP, running the Blazer 230 grain full metal jacket. I think I mentioned a 5-inch barrel on it. 25 yards. Slow down. I think I'm missing on every one of them except for the ones in the beginning. Did not hold open on the last round. Again, I don't know if it's the 230 grain full metal jackets that I'm running or if it's just the possibly the springs might be getting weak in the magazine. But that is a 5-inch tactical. Basically just a 5-inch barrel and the XD Mod 2 line. Again, this is equipped with my TLR HL light. I'm going to go over my little bit of a talking portion here. as I mentioned before, I've got the entire family of the XD Mod 2 line, in not only 45 and 9mm, but in the subcompact, service, and the tactical model. Now, the biggest differences is, as you go up, let's see if I can demonstrate this properly, you've got just a little bit longer barrel length, of course, when you go from a 3-inch to a 4-inch. And then again, of course, from the 4 to a 5, an inch is quite a bit of a difference, but it looks like the tactical has got a longer barrel on it than what the service does when compared to the subcompact and the 4-inch service model. Again, of course, looking at the 45s, you can see kind of like the same scenario where these definitely look like it's an inch increment as they go up. A bit of a comparison, but the big comparison is going to be between the two. Looking at a 9mm versus a 45, when you're actually looking at them side by side. And of course, the thickness of the grips. And just to show you that, kind of lock them back too. Everything has been unloaded, of course, but you can kind of see a difference in just widths are very, very similar to each other. There's not a lot of width difference to go from a 45 to the 9mm. And of course, even the 4-inch models, the 45 of course is going to be just a little bit longer because it's going to have a little bit longer chamber. That's where the extra length is going to come into. Now, of course, when you go from a 13-round magazine to a 16-round magazine, and you can see the size difference between these magazines when you kind of stack them up side by side, base plate to base plate, you can see that 16, of course, is going to be a lot better round capacity than your 45. And as I said, I will go through and I didn't even want to lock back. Huh. Maybe that's why that magazine doesn't want to. Now she did. But then capacity, you're looking at the subcompact is going to have a 9-round magazine, and of course I did put a Pierce grip extension on there to give you more of a full handhold. Now my hands are smaller, so the regular grips on the 4-inch and of course the 5-inch model do seem to work a little bit better for me. Now when we jump up to, well, some of these magazines do not want to lock the sides back. Probably just got to replace my springs in my magazines. It's been a while. Of course, as I mentioned, kind of comparing, I'm getting my stuff mixed up here. Put my 9mm together and my 45s together. So as I mentioned, the 9mm, I should point out, grab this Pierce extension here. This is a 13-round magazine. I put a +2 grip extension on it. So you can see now it's actually the same, one less round than what the regular full-size handgun does. Now you don't have a huge difference in barrel length. That's why I ended up not carrying the compact that much. I actually carried the 9mm, just the full-size handgun, more than I carried any of the subcompacts, because I even got in the habit of carrying the 13-round 45 here, because I mean it does have, as you can see, a decent grip on it. It's a little bit bigger grip than what the 9mm has, of course, especially when you're looking at capacity, but I think they actually do point nice. The nice thing is I actually have decent slide that comes all the way back with my forearm on all the Mod 2s. Doesn't matter if it's the 45 or the 9, but I can actually pick them up, find the sights real easily, and that's why I actually did go with the XD Mod 2s and bought all of them. I know a lot of hate is online when it comes to the Mod 2 family, the XD family in general from Springfield. all these handguns were manufactured in Croatia, the same plant that manufactures the VHS2 or the Hellion that Springfield's calling it when they import it. I mean, it's not like they're a third world country. They manufacture a nice looking product. I mean, with the exception of some magazine springs, they've ran perfectly fine. I've only ever had that one issue that you saw with the, actually the 9mm jammed on the last round. But again, I put an aftermarket grip extension on there, so you can't really fault the handgun for that. That being said, kind of did a quick little overview of these. I mean, just kind of looking at them side by side. I don't know if you can really tell on camera here, but they're pretty similar to one another. And that is why I ended up going with the 45s. The actual first Mod 2 I bought was the 45 in the 4-inch, and then I went and bought a 45 tactical when that came out. Later on, I ended up picking up the full 9mm because once the Mod 2 was discontinued, their prices dropped drastically. When I bought this, I paid full price for it. When I bought the 45, I think it was only like $25 more than what I paid for the 4-inch. And then all of the 9mm and the 45 compact, I picked all of those up for around $300 or a little under because, well, they were discontinuing them. And they all came with like loadout systems, the Gear Up promotions. So I've got probably around 20 magazines for the 45 and about 25 magazines total now for the 9mm. So, I mean, they supplied a pile of magazines with these guns when they were just looking to get rid of them. I found some, I believe my 5-inch here, I ended up getting that from RSR. They had a special promotion where it came with the Gear Up promotion and then they were throwing in 3 extra magazines on top of it. So I think this thing came with like 8 mags total. I mean, they were really pushing hard to get rid of as many of these guns as they could once they knew they were discontinued. And of course, now the XD Mod 3 is out. The only addition to the XD Mod 3 is it's going to have a little bit of receiver cut back here so you can put a red dot on it. I mean, if you're going to run a red dot, I don't know why you just don't run a echelon. It's actually got the ability to, so that's something. And definitely always make sure your little thread protectors are tight because that's my second one. I lost my first one. So that being said, up next I'm going to do some shooting off the bench here. It's starting to mist a little bit. I don't know if it's mist or if it's the fog. I think you can see in the background it's quite a bit of fog is starting to set in. It's been raining a little bit off and on, and it's hovering around 45 to about 50 degrees today. I think it was supposed to get up to 56, never got up that high. Right now it's roughly about 45 to 48, I should say. So I know earlier you could see my breath when I was shooting down at 25 yards at my steel that I did a fantastic job of missing the vast majority of my shots at, which, I mean, when it comes to shooting handguns, you have to remember it's a very perishable skill if you don't keep up on it. Like all the other YouTubers say, train, train, train. Well, that's just something as simply as taking out a box of ammo and running it through whatever handgun you're going to be shooting. Now, when you look at something like this where you've got so many different handguns, I mean, just because they got a full-size grip doesn't mean they're going to shoot the same. I mean, each one of them shoots a little bit differently than what the previous one's going to. So the more handguns you have, the more you got to take them out and shoot them. But this is more of just kind of like a novelty thing when I bought all these Mod 2s, because I did like the 45, the 9mm. I carried the 9mm probably the most out of all of them. But since I've gone up to the Echelon, I've been carrying that more than anything because it does have the ability to put a red dot on. I do like a red dot optic on the handgun once I got used to it a little more. So, but if you're looking for a good iron sight handgun, if you can find any of them anymore, I do like the Mod 2s. It'd be interesting to see if they changed anything else on the Mod 3. So that's going to conclude my talking portion for this. Coming up next is going to be the shooting off the bench here and some slow motion of that. So hopefully you can see the different barrel rises and whatever that translates into, like recoil, because I will say shooting these little subcompacts, I think they got a lot more muzzle flip, of course, than what your larger handguns are gonna. So, but yeah, that'll be coming up next in the video. Up first, I have the Springfield Armory XD Mod 2 in the subcompact 9mm. It is loaded up with 5 rounds of the 124 grain NATO 9mm. One failure on the last round. Come here, little buddy. Did not lock back on last round either. That is the Subcompact XD Mod 2 by Springfield Armory. Got 5 rounds loaded up in a Springfield Armory XD Mod 2 4-inch service model 9mm. I've got 5 rounds of 124 grain 9mm NATO by Winchester. And did not hold open. You can see that on the last round, the magazine did not hold open with the 124 grain NATO spec ammunition by Winchester. This is again a 4-inch XD Mod 2 9mm. This is called the service model. Now we got a 9mm. This is the 5-inch tactical model XD Mod 2, shooting 5 rounds of the 124 grain NATO spec Winchester. All of this is full metal jacket. And again, did not hold the slide open on the last round. I'm a little surprised. Gonna actually see how it performs when we are not shooting off of a bench like this. But this again is the 5-inch tactical model XD Mod 2 in 9mm. Next up, I have the Subcompact Springfield Armory XD Mod 2. This is in 45 ACP. We are shooting 5 rounds of Blazer 45 auto in a 230 grain jacketed, full metal jacket, I should say. This one held back last round. This again is a 45 ACP Springfield Armory Mod 2 in the subcompact. This has got a 3.3 inch barrel. Next up, I have my Springfield Armory. This is a 4-inch service model in 45 ACP XD Mod 2. Again, shooting 5 rounds of the Blazer Brass 45 caliber, 230 grain full metal jacket. Last round. That one did not hold the slide back. That is again 5 rounds of 230 grain full metal jacket by Blazer here, being shot out of a 4-inch 45 ACP XD Mod 2. Last up for my bench shooting is the 5-inch tactical model in the Springfield Armory XD Mod 2. This is a 45 ACP. We are loaded up with 5 rounds of Blazer Brass 45 auto in a 230 grain full metal jacket. Again, this one did not hold the action back. This is Blazer Brass, Blazer Ammo, 230 grain full metal jacket and 45 ACP. This again is a Springfield Armory XD Mod 2 in 45 ACP in the 5-inch tactical model. Just for some comparison's sake, this is the Springfield Armory Echelon. This is an extended threaded barrel at, I believe, 5 1/4 inches for the overall length. I have a EPS red dot sight by Hollow Sun and a TLR1 HL light on it. We are again shooting 124 grain FMJ by Winchester. That is too bright. Let me go and turn down the brightness on my red dot so I can see it. First one surprised me. Missed it. slide lock back. I also have an upgraded guide rod in this as well. I went away from the plastic guide rod and went to an Apex stainless steel nitride coated guide rod on it. So it has 5 rounds of the 124 grain NATO Winchester 9mm ammo. This is a Springfield Armory Echelon with some upgrades. I also put the small grip module on it with the medium backstrap and the small module. So I have done some upgrades on this handgun since I originally bought it. This is my primary handgun that I do carry back here around the property. All right, well, that is going to do it for today's video. Definitely, I have no shortage of Farmer Rain jackets, of course, that really help out on days like today where everything is real wet because of the mist in the air. So this is the Farmer Rain 3 pockets, both of those. I use those for any kind of like just covering up the rifles, handguns, you name it, when it's out here if it's raining. Also use it to kind of keep all of the ammunition dry when it's sitting out here. So kind of a nice little backup to have that I use for filming. And of course I've got, this is one of the latest additions Farmer Rain has made to their website. This is the shiny blue unlined jacket. So it's a little bit longer. There's no snaps at the cuffs. They're just kind of like open cuffs on them, open pockets on the side. And it does have a zipper pocket on the inside for like putting your phone in, so everything will stay nice and waterproof and hopefully it won't get wet for you. So as I mentioned, that's going to pretty much conclude the video. Thank you for watching, and I hope something at least in my video was informative to you and possibly helped. So, and if you're interested in any good rainwear, go to farmerrain.com. Of course, I use it for more than just rainwear. Obviously, it covers stuff up and also makes excellent protection if you're going to be using any kind of muddy conditions. So, farmerrain.com, and the handguns I had out today were all by Springfield Armory. So if you're interested in any of that, there's a website you can go to there, and that'll pretty much be concluding it for today. Thank you for watching.